Welcome back to Velvet Living, where we dive into the best of the past and bring it alive for today. In today's journey, we're setting our time machines to the colorful, vibrant, and unforgettable era of the 1970s. A decade of change, innovation, and styles that would leave a lasting impact on culture and history. Whether you lived through it or you've only seen it through the lens of history, there's no denying the 70s hold a special place in our hearts. So, grab your bell-bottoms, cue up some classic rock, and let's explore why we miss the 70s so much. From the music that defined a generation to the fashion that broke all the rules, we're diving deep into the heart of the decade. Join me as we relive the magic, the milestones, and the sheer madness that was the 1970s. The music scene. 1970s music scene was a dynamic explosion of genres, witnessing the emergence and maturation of rock, disco, funk, punk, and the early stages of hip-hop. This era was marked by iconic artists and groundbreaking albums that have stood the test of time. Artists like the Beach Boys, Cher, David Crosby, and bands such as Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and Fleetwood Mac dominated the charts with albums that became cultural milestones. Music festivals and live concerts played a pivotal role in the 1970s, serving as more than just entertainment. They were gatherings that bolstered the popularity of diverse music genres and acted as platforms for social change, echoing the voices of movements such as peace, love, and freedom. Events like Woodstock, although technically occurring at the tail end of the 60s, set the stage for the 70s festivals, which continued to celebrate counterculture and community. The evolution of music genres during this time reflected the tastes, preferences, and cultural shifts happening worldwide. The intermingling of music styles led to innovations and inspired artists and listeners alike, making the 1970s a defining decade for music and its influence on social movements. Fashion and style. The 1970s fashion scene was a vibrant showcase of freedom, rebellion, and individual expression. This era, marked by its distinctive style, pushed the boundaries of traditional fashion and introduced the world to a plethora of bold statements that remain iconic to this day. Bell-bottom jeans, with their flared legs, became synonymous with the decade, embodying the spirit of liberation and a breakaway from the conservative styles of previous generations. Platform shoes elevated the fashion game, both literally and metaphorically, offering an unprecedented blend of style and stature. These towering shoes were not just a fashion statement, but also a symbol of the era's daring attitude towards redefining norms. The influence of various social movements, including the anti-war protests, the feminist movement, and the burgeoning punk scene, was evident in the clothing choices of the time. Studded jackets, torn clothes, and unisex attire spoke volumes of the rebellion against societal norms and the push for gender equality and peace. Moreover, the 70s fashion was deeply intertwined with the music and counterculture of the time, reflecting the era's vibrant energy and diversity. From the hippie chic, characterized by maxi dresses and peasant blouses, to the disco diva look, with its sequins and satin, the decade offered an eclectic mix that catered to every taste and preference, celebrating fierce individuality and freedom of expression. Technological advances. The 1970s heralded a revolution in technology, laying the groundwork for the digital world we live in today. This decade saw the first major boom in personal computing, with microcomputers becoming accessible to the public, marking the dawn of the personal computer era. Innovations like the Apple II, introduced in 1977, brought computing into the homes and offices of millions, changing the way we work, learn, and entertain ourselves. Video games also made their mark during the 70s. The introduction of arcade games and the release of home video game consoles like the Atari 2600 popularized video gaming, making it a fundamental part of popular culture. Games such as Pong began as simple entertainment but quickly evolved into a significant industry, influencing not just leisure time, but also the development of computer graphics and interactivity. Moreover, The 1970s witnessed significant advancements in television and film, driven by technological transfer from the space program and other innovations. This era set the stage for the modern entertainment industry, enhancing the quality of visual effects and paving the way for the high-definition viewing experiences we enjoy today. Social movements and change. The 1970s were a pivotal decade for social movements in the United States, marking significant strides in environmentalism, feminism, and civil rights, each profoundly shaping the cultural landscape. The environmental movement saw a major milestone with the first Earth Day in 1970, which mobilized millions of Americans and built a strong movement prioritizing environmental protection as a national concern. This unprecedented public debate and activism led to significant legislative actions and established environmentalism as a core element of societal values. Feminism experienced a powerful resurgence as second-wave feminism, focusing on issues beyond voting rights to include equality in the workplace, reproductive rights, and the broader spectrum of social justice. This period saw the intersection of feminism with other movements, notably environmentalism, with ecofeminism highlighting the intertwined nature of these struggles. Civil rights continued to evolve, with the 1970s witnessing the growth of movements such as the American Indian movement and the gay rights movement. These movements expanded the civil rights dialogue to include a broader array of social justice and equality issues, pushing for legal and societal changes that sought to rectify systemic inequalities. Together, these movements transformed the social fabric of the 1970s, advocating for a more inclusive, equitable, and conscious society. They spurred a range of cultural impacts, from influencing lifestyle choices to reshaping political discourse, highlighting the decade's role as a transformative period in the pursuit of social justice and equality. Entertainment and pop culture. The 1970s was a transformative decade for entertainment and pop culture, introducing iconic TV shows, movies, and moments that continue to resonate today. This era was marked by groundbreaking television series that pushed the boundaries of storytelling and representation. While the search results provided don't specifically list 1970s TV shows, the decade was known for classics such as MASH, All in the Family, and The Mary Tyler Moore Show, which blended comedy with social commentary, reflecting and influencing the societal shifts of the time. In cinema, the 1970s witnessed the rise of the new Hollywood era, with films like The Godfather, Star Wars, and Jaws not only achieving monumental success, but also reshaping the film industry. These movies introduced complex characters, innovative storytelling techniques, and special effects that set new standards for filmmaking. Pop culture moments like the Beatles breaking up and the introduction of the VCR were pivotal, signaling the end of an era and the beginning of new forms of media consumption. The influence of the 1970s on entertainment and pop culture is undeniable, with its contributions still deeply embedded in the fabric of contemporary media, influencing generations of creators and audiences alike. As we wrap up our nostalgic journey through the 1970s, it's clear why this decade holds such a special place in our hearts. It was a time of great change, creativity, and expression. The 70s taught us to question authority, to dream big, and to let our true colors shine. While we may not be able to turn back time, we can keep the spirit of the 70s alive by remembering its lessons and celebrating its contributions to our world. Thank you for joining me on this groovy trip down memory lane. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more blasts from the past. Until next time, keep on rockin' in the free world.